had risen, no star had shone. The world beneath a silent dome. 2 days of blood had scarred the land, and now the dead stood still as stone. Upon the plain the legions lay, a sea of bone in cold array. Yet not a blade nor arrow flew, no ladders climbed, no war cry grew.
They simply watched the citadel walls, 1,000 empty socket calls, still as statues in the night, awaiting storm without its fall.
For all within the silent keep remembered well the price they paid. The dwarves and goblins side by side, who burned the halls they themselves made. Their sacrifice beneath the stone had bought the living time alone, and every heart upon the wall knew well the price that saved them all. The third dark day brought silent dread, no clash of steel, no marching dead. The walls stood firm, the fires burned low, but none could guess the coming blow. Inside the walls the weary stood, elves and men in battered hood. The orcs leaned hard on notch and spear shaft, their armor scarred from yesterday's wrath.
What trick is this? The captain said, some hidden blade or crawling dread. For silence in a war so grim is often where the horrors begin.
The fallen then were laid to flame, their ashes for the necromancers claim. The pyres burned through the endless night, red sparks against the starless height.
No song was sung, no drums were played, just whispered prayers the living made. For every friend the fire took was one less soldier Malno could brook.
The third dark day brought silent dread, no clash of steel, no marching dead. The walls stood firm, the fires burned low, but none could guess the coming blow.
Upon the wall where torches burned, Prince Astyrian paused and turned. Beside him stood Captain Kavuhn, her armor scarred from battles won.
Well, said the prince with crooked grin, if we survive the mess we're in, perhaps when all this war is done, you might consider marrying me.
She raised a brow and laughed out loud, their comrades cheering from the crowd. Survive the war and ask again, and maybe ask my human friend.
So word went down through wall and hall, and lifted hearts of soldiers all. For even where the dead ones roam, a little hope can still find home.
Far out beyond the silent plain, where countless dead like statues remain, which Lord Malno watched the walls calm beneath the starless pall.
Eternally young with courteous tone, more scholar's mind than tyrant's throne. No rage disturbed his measured breath, he spoke of ruin much like chess.
The engine failed, so be it then, we build our victory once again. Patience wins what fury breaks, the gate will fall for Gardrim's sake.
His followers dreamed of golden reign, of wealth and power their lord would gain. But Malno knew the darker truth, all souls would burn, both age and youth. And still he served with iron will, for if the world must suffer still, then hell itself would rise to claim the broken world in Gardrim's name. The dead stood cold and still beyond the walls and shattered hill. A thunder came from distant plain, not marching bones but roaring pain.
Then came the trolls at last to war, their heavy steps across the moor. At their head with booming laugh marched foolish King Aras.
For in his mind the tale was clear, a dreadful crime had brought him here, that men and elves would dare to fight when hungry trolls came in the night.
Is it not cruel, the king would say, to chase poor starving trolls away, to guard your homes with sword and spear, a shameful crime, most unfair.
So Ra had joined the coming doom, to see the world in darkness bloom. Yet late he came to join the war, for he had raided villages along the Third dark day gave breath once more to hearts that bled from days before. The pyres burned, the vows were sworn, new shadows in the dark were born. And still the dead stood silent grim,
awaiting orders sent by him.
So passed the third of 5 dark days, in ashen vows and quiet gaze. The storm had paused, the blade was still, but darker plans were climbing